So yesterday, looking at Scripture, we saw how we begin a passage, a section in Mark, in which 4 paragraphs talk about faith overcoming our fear. The first of those happens just after Jesus finishes teaching the parables. Mark chapter 4, verse 35. That day when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let's go over to the other side." And they did. They got in the boat. They start making their way to the other side. Jesus is exhausted after spending a day teaching, and he falls asleep. A furious squall came up, and waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him up, said to him, "Teacher, don't you care that we drowned?" He got up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." And the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you afraid?" And then he creates a name for them. He calls them little faiths. He literally says, "Why were you so afraid, little faiths?" NIV translate that, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified. They ask each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." Jesus has authority over the circumstances in our lives. In this case, Jesus has authority over a storm that threatened the very lives of the disciples. For the disciples, their fear over what was happening paralyzed their faith. With us too, sometimes the things that are going on around us are so overwhelming that it's difficult for us to have faith. We look at the circumstances that we're in and we're paralyzed. Jesus' call to us today is have faith. Trust in me. It's not easy. It comes sometimes with the experience of having gone through those difficulties. But the reality is, he has authority over the circumstances of our lives. If we believe that he is good and that he has authority, we can have faith that he will, at some point, rescue us. What are you going through today? From what do you need to be rescued? Have faith.